Right, hello everybody. Sorry that I'm running a minute or two behind schedule today. Been slightly hectic afternoon. There we are. Have however had a chance to make a nice cup of tea. So, as ever, what we're going to be doing today is, if you're watching this as a video, sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought there. I'm Tom. Hi. This is Thursday Outreach. Like I say, if you're watching us on a video form, as ever, please do feel free to skip forward 5 minutes while I just wait to see if a couple more people join us on the live stream. But otherwise, yeah. So sorry. So now skip forward now. Basically, is what I'm saying. Otherwise, if you're going to be coming and watching, either if you don't feel like skipping forward, or if you're watching us in the stream, then hello. Like I say, I'm Tom. This is Thursday Outreach, and today we've got a very, very special episode indeed. It's been specially requested of me, apparently. Someone asking about, vocabulary for going to dentist and getting the kids to brush their teeth and oral health, and absolutely the first request I've had in the few months that I've been doing this, or however long I've been doing it, and honestly so excited that hopefully I can be delivering a lesson today that is going to be really useful to someone. So I've prepared some vocabulary for you. I've prepared a couple of exercises. I've prepared I pinched a couple of exercises and adapted some bits and bobs. So hopefully they'll be useful for learning today about dental health, oral hygiene, mouths, teeth, gums, all that absolutely fun stuff. So, like I say, I'll just wait for a few minutes or so before we get started with the stream proper. Again, I'm sorry that that I'm running a couple of minutes behind today. Been a hectic old afternoon. There we are. I hope you're all doing well. If you're watching this in the video and you haven't skipped forward, or if you're watching live, I hope you're well. I hope you've had a lovely week. I certainly have had a really great week this week, actually. So you can't. It's not coming across on the picture looking at it, but hopefully my sunburns worn off slightly. But been out in the sun, so. Unfortunately, my nose isn't throbbing red anymore with the old sunburn. I was the exact same colour as this shirt, if you can if you can believe it. But yeah, been out in the sun, fun in the sun. So I hope you've all had as pleasant a week as me. The weather's been absolutely lovely, or it certainly was down where I've been. It's brilliant weather today. I've just had an absolutely fantastic session with some really brilliant people. We've been talking about some of the music stuff that I went over in a lesson would be a couple of weeks ago now, and some of the transport stuff as well. So if you're a new viewer to these little Thursday Outreach sessions, then do feel free to go back and have a watch of those. I'll just see if there's any. Oh, hello! If you've just joined us. Really great to see you here. Absolutely fantastic. Where are we? N.E.S.T Outreach. Where are we? I'd love to see how many views are on those old videos that I've done. Those the ones about transport and music. But yeah, we had an absolutely brilliant conversation about music. Oh, so my transport video's only got 5 views. So if you're watching this, my music video's got 12 views now. But like I say, if you're watching this and you have got any interest in travel and transport, then do feel free to check back. But like I say, this week we're going to be going on about the dentist, trips to the dentist, about oral hygiene, and all that absolutely brilliant stuff. If any of you would like to comment, leave a comment or a little thing in the chat. If you've had any recent trips to the dentist, it's very important. Well, maybe not recent trip to the dentist, actually. I'm sure everything dentist-wise has been a bit of a spanner thrown in the works, as it were with the dentist. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that that'll will be going ahead, but it's important in normal circumstances that you try and make a trip to the dentist twice a year. We're getting about up to the 5-minute mark now, so I'll probably get started with the lesson shortly. I'll give it another 30 seconds just so it's 5 minutes from the actual 30-second mark that I said. Skip forward 5 minutes to, and it gives any last remaining stragglers a moment to tune in. Another slurp of this cup of tea before we get started properly. Brilliant news. Okay, so we're about 5 minutes and 30 seconds in. Hopefully everyone's caught up with the video now. So fantastic. Where are we up to? So I've got a little PowerPoint presentation prepared as ever this week. Just get myself out of the way. Here we are. Oh god, so wait, really far ahead actually in terms of this PowerPoint than I should be. So at the dentist, trip to the dentist, for the one person that requested it. I hope this lesson is interesting and useful for you. Thank you so much for requesting. If anyone else ever has any requests for me, hopefully, leave them in the comments or leave them with one of the absolutely amazing people that run the show behind the scenes. With all the different N.E.S.T stuff that goes on. Just a thank you for those wonderful people first and foremost that have been really great this week, and leave any suggestions with them, and I've been more than happy to oblige. I'm so excited to have a recommended video that we can get really our teeth stuck into today. So here we are at the dentist. So I've got some vocabulary for us to go through here, and this is just general stuff that you might see, at the dentist, and it's just to do with mouths and dental hygiene and all that good stuff. So hopefully, if ever you yourself has to go to the dentist, and you maybe have to take your kids with you to get their teeth looked at, because it is very important to look after your teeth, because you only get one set in your entire life, and it's a pain or whatever. So first, let's go on. So if you're in the dentist, then these are some of the things you might see. So first and foremost, the dentist basin. Okay, a basin is a general sort of bathroom thing that you see in any bathroom really, where a tap will go into it and the water will drain away from it, and it can hold water in it, as you can see in the picture. But this particular one is a dentist basin. So one common thing you might get asked if you've maybe had some plaque removed or something is if you'll swill your mouth with the old mouthwash and then spit it out into the basin, then that is the basin. Okay, you've got the little tap on there, sort of various different instruments, but that you can't see where I'm putting my mouth. But the thing in the middle where with the plug hole in, which is the thing at the bottom where the water goes out, that is the basin, and that in particular is a dentist basin. Okay, on to the next one. Oh, this is a bit of a grisly picture. I maybe should have given a bit of a warning for that one. I'll maybe not leave it too long on this one because it's a bit of a grisly picture. But there's a few things that I'd like to talk about in this picture very briefly, because it really is quite grisly. So the first photo is showing someone with a cavity in their tooth where it's rotten away. Now this is what happens, if you've eaten too much sugar and you don't brush your teeth and you don't go to the dentist, it'll be what happens. You get a big hole in your tooth, and that hole is called a cavity, where it's rotten away. Now the picture on the right is the after picture, which shows where the dentist has filled in the cavity. In the olden days, you might have to get that filled in with gold, but nowadays you can get it so it just looks like tooth, which is absolutely brilliant. So there we have got a cavity where the tooth is rotten away, and in the second photo, it's been filled in and the person has got a filling from the dentist. Now, the X-ray machine. Okay, now this is something with a lot of medical applications, but basically what it allows to do is it allows doctors, or in this case the dentist, to see through to the bone, or in this case the teeth. Like I say, it's used in a lot of medical practices. For example, if you've broken a bone, then often you'll be asked to go for an X-ray so they can see what's going on to the bone itself. But in the dentist, it's also something they use to get a sort of scan of your teeth and what they look like, as you can see on the photograph on the left. If this is reversed, oh crikey, where are? So Sorry, X-ray machine. So is it on? Yeah, so it should be on the left. Where the doctor looks, the dentist looks like he's pointing at that picture of the teeth. That is the picture of the X-ray of the inside teeth. On the right, okay, that is what the X-ray machine inside a dentist will look like. And I think you've got to sort of put your teeth round a sort of I'm not sure what you necessarily call it, but you get explained to it. But basically, if you're at the dentist and they say, yeah, we'd like to give you an X-ray, then this is the type of machine that you'll be presented with, and this is the sort of image you'll get as well from the X-ray machine, and that's when the dentist wants to get a clear picture of what your teeth look like. Okay. Now, onto a more straightforward one. A dentist. Now, this is the person who's in charge of looking at your teeth, basically, and looking after them. So, like how a doctor would treat your entire body, a dentist is that, but they only specialise in what's inside your mouth. So you've got the teeth and gums, and a dentist will look at that. So that's a job description. You might also get an oral hygienist, which is someone who will do maybe a really thorough clean and stuff of the inside of your mouth, or a dental surgeon, and they'll be doing the more more intensive stuff. If you've got to go into surgery for your teeth, then you'll go and see a dental surgeon. So again, a fairly common one in day-to-day life. We've obviously all seen a lamp. I'll try and show you mine. Oh gosh, there we are, falling over. So that's just a regular lamp, but there's something that's you're going to see quite prominently in a dentist, because you'll get sat in the dentist chair and they'll lean you back, and then they'll bring this big thing over your head. But all that is just a lamp so they can get a clear look at your teeth. So there'll be a thing so it stops the light from going into your eyes. And they'll bring it round over your head, and it'll just be a lamp so that the doctor can look at your teeth. So it looks a bit sinister actually on that picture there. But if you ever sat in the dentist chair and they bring in something just a bright light over your head, then that's all that is just a lamp so they can get a good look at your teeth. Okie doke. Next, so a receptionist, another person that you're very likely to see in the dentist. This is just the person who's working the desk, maybe taking phone calls, booking appointments, and obviously at the dentist you'll go in and say, hello, I'd like to book an appointment, please. And you'll be talking to a receptionist. That'll be the person, like I say, that books in all the appointments and does all the organisation that the dentist wouldn't have time to do. So they do a very, very important job in making sure that absolutely everybody gets to their appointments on time, and all that good stuff. I'll just turn the sound of my notifications off so that I'm not disturbed. Wonderful. So there we are. On to the next one. A dentist chair. Now, we were talking about this briefly when we were talking about the lamp, but this is a very peculiar contraption. Not like any chair you might be familiar with from just in a desk or a cafe or a restaurant or anywhere. This is something where you'll sit in and suddenly you'll feel like you're going backwards and you'll be going into a lying down position. So that's just so that the dentist and what's the other person called? Anyway, losing my train of thought. So you'll be sat in the chair, and then suddenly it'll start going backwards, and you'll find yourself lying down, and the inside of your mouth being examined by I'm sure a very capable dentist. Indeed. So this is just like I say, just a dentist chair. Just so you're familiar with. They maybe look a bit unlike a chair you've ever seen. So there we are. Now, this is something I'm sure everyone is very familiar with at the moment, in particular, especially now that the new rules are saying that as of, I think it's the 24th of July, every person going into a shop will have to be wearing one of these things, and they are, of course, a sort of surgical mask or a face mask or whatever, to protect everyone from the obvious thing that's going on at the moment. But in a dentist, the dentist will be wearing one of these to stop, just breathing all over you, basically. So yeah, that's what that is. That's a mask, and as I say, I'm sure everyone is exceptionally familiar with these things at the moment. and especially given the fact that we'll all have to wear them in the shops in about a week's time. So I hope you've all got a good stock of masks built up. Okie doke. So braces. Here we are. Now these are things that are used basically to straighten out people's teeth. Most people will get these as sort of child or a teenager, and they're, like I say, put in to sort out the teeth if they're not growing out properly. As you can maybe tell, I'm not sure how clear the quality of the stream is, but my teeth are bloody dreadful. So I never got any braces, so my teeth are all wonky. But what they do is they straighten people's teeth out, so they're not all clumped together or spread apart or whatever. They just make them all so they're nice and lined up as they should be. So that's what braces do. Get all your teeth in the right place. And nothing to be afraid of. Very, very standard procedure for dentists. Now this again, another slightly more sinister looking machine here. We have the dentist drill. Again though, it's nothing to be afraid of. As we saw from that second picture, the more unpleasant looking one with a person with a big gaping hole in their tooth. They had a big old cavity where the tooth had rotten away, and if you're a dentist, then you can't just put a filling straight into the cavity. You've got to use a drill to sort of clean it up around the area, so you're not putting the filling into somewhere that's rotted away. You're putting it onto tooth. A sort of drill might also be used to remove plaque, which is something that builds up on teeth if you don't brush them or floss them enough, or even if you do. Some people are, I think, more prone to build up a plaque than others, but it's very important. It eats away at the enamel, which is the very hard shell on the outside of your teeth, so it's very important that you go to the dentist to check if you need any plaque removed. And they'll use a sort of drill type machine to do that. It sounds a bit traumatic if you're sat in the dentist chair, but again, it's nothing to be afraid of by any means. And it merely is used to take away a little bit of teeth or plaque that the dentist thinks shouldn't be there. So it's a very safe piece of machinery, and it's very important for dental hygiene, as it were. So that's a drill. Like I say, it just takes a bit of the surface of the teeth off. For whatever reason that might need to be, whether it's to plaque or to take out the area around where a filling is going to go. A mirror. Now this is another very important piece of the dentist's arsenal. More often than not, if you're going for your twice yearly checkup, as I hear all of you do, it's very important that you go and see the dentist regularly. What they'll do is they'll get one of these little mirror things and a sort of scalpel. What scalpel, is that the word I'm thinking of? God. Again, as I say every week, me, a native English speaker who only speaks English and can't speak any other languages, and I've been speaking all my life, often don't know or forget words. So don't let making mistakes put you off speaking or doing anything in English, because even as people who've been doing it all our lives are absolutely useless as a general rule, so don't be put off. Anyway, so back to the point at hand. When you're at the dentist going for your checkup, then more often than not they'll put that mirror into your mouth and will reel off a list of all the different teeth that you've got, and just make sure that all the teeth are in order and everything's fine and everything's as it should be. So it just means they can get a look behind the teeth. Hence the chair that goes backwards and the big lamp. So everything goes hand in hand. But that's a mirror so they can get a look inside your mouth. Now on to the more general sort of dental hygiene type stuff. This is stuff that you should be using regularly. Unfortunately, I didn't get a picture of floss actually thinking about it, but that's something. Floss is like a very thin piece of string that you put between your teeth and to get the things out from between the teeth that may be built up there. This is mouthwash that you can maybe use after you brush your teeth to clean out the inside of your mouth. You'll rinse it round inside your mouth. But most importantly, that you do this twice a day. I do it straight after I wake up and straight before I go to bed, is brushing your teeth. So you've got the toothbrush and toothpaste. Okay, and then obviously you need to, put some water on the toothbrush, add the toothpaste, and then brush for 2 whole minutes on your teeth. You can do 30 seconds on each front and back, top and bottom. So it's very important that you do that twice a day. Brush your teeth for 2 minutes each time with a toothbrush and toothpaste. Okie doke. So, like I say, these are the type of tools you might need to keep your teeth healthy. Okay, so we've got the floss, which, like I say, is that little bit of string that you use between your individual teeth to make sure that they're all clean. I've got the toothbrush that you use to brush your teeth twice daily for 2 minutes each, and you should also use mouthwash. Again, that's what you need to do to keep your teeth healthy. Problems with teeth that are very common that you might have. So like I say, this plaque thing, okay, it builds up on the surface of your teeth, and it sort of eats away at the enamel, which is the really important hard shell that you get around your teeth. So if a dentist says that you've got a plaque build up on your teeth and they need to take it off, then it just, what they do is they put that kind of drill thing in your mouth, they grind off the plaque. And it feels a bit funny, but very important. So you've got good, strong, healthy, and also white teeth if you're interested in that type of thing. Decay is what happens and what leads to the second photo that I showed you earlier, the somewhat grisly one with the big hole in the tooth. Decay is where your tooth rots away, wears away, and there's not much left. So decay can happen to anything, in fact, but specifically in terms of the dentist, it's where your tooth is there's material taken off your teeth. And a cavity is exactly what was shown in that horrible photo with a big hole in your tooth. If you've got a big hole in your tooth, it's called a cavity, and it's as simple as that. Okay, and then where the dentist can help. So this is addressing some of the key problems that you might have. So first things first, if you've got just a small cavity, then it's quite likely that the dentist will be able to replace it with just a simple filling. Okay, and that, as the name suggests, if you're familiar with the word to fill, then what they do is they fill the hole where the tooth was with a tooth-like substance, and it's almost as if it was never there, never a problem. Like I say, in the olden days, they would have had to do it with gold or something like that. They'd fill your cavities with gold because it was a neutral metal and it was hard or whatever. But nowadays, like I say, they can fill it with stuff that almost exactly like the tooth itself, so you wouldn't even notice that there had been a filling there in the first place. Dentures / false teeth. Now that's a bit more of a serious affair. If you've ended up having teeth that are really bad and you've had to get some taken out, then it's entirely likely that you might have to get a set of dentures or false teeth, which is where all of the teeth are gone and you just get a completely new set that you might have to stick in on a morning or something like that. So false teeth, that's what you get. A bridge is where a bridge is a piece of material that has, unlike a complete set of dentures or false teeth, a bridge is, if you've lost maybe one tooth, then a bridge will be to just replace that sort of one specific tooth, and it's attached to the actual teeth themselves rather than to the gum. Sorry, oh no, we'll go on to that later actually. And a crown is just where you've got most of the tooth left. Most of the tooth left. Sorry if the thing is going big and small all over the place. There we are. Back to square one. That. Sorry, raising the right. Everything back to normal. And a crown is just so if you've cracked a tooth or something, and maybe the very top of a tooth has fallen off in some sort of sporting accident or anything like that, then if you get a crown for your tooth, it's where they just put some sort of artificial material to make it seem like there's a full tooth there. Hopefully I explained that well enough. So a bit more of an activity here to do with the dentist. So here we've got some phrasal verbs. This activity, and in fact the next one, are taken from the brilliant people at linguahouse.com. Just to give credit where it's due, absolutely fantastic. So in this activity, we've got a phrasal verb and their definitions, but they're all mixed up. Okay, so maybe I'll read them all out, and then you can maybe think about which one maybe goes with which. So look after, number one. Number two, take out. Not take out as in take away food. Losing my train of thought. Number three, look at. Number four, come back. Number five, lie down. And number six, put off. Okay, and then the definitions. A, to delay something because you don't want to do it. B, to move your body into a flat position. C, to remove something from a place. D, to return to a place. E, to take care of something. And F, to use your eyes to see something. So I'll just leave those up there for just maybe a moment so you can get a chance to read through them at your own pace and maybe have a think about which one goes with which. While you're doing that, let's have a slurp of tea. Let you get on with it. I will use this moment while you're having a look at it to just say, I know a lot of people can be a bit nervous when it comes to the dentist, but there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. They're absolutely very well trained people, and it's a very difficult job to get to become a dentist. Not just anyone can do it, and it can be a bit scary. Absolutely, I agree, especially if you're in a strange country where you don't have necessarily all the language to make it as painless as possible. I'm sure it can be very stressful indeed. But what I really do recommend that you all, if possible, do go to the dentist twice a year, and do make sure you keep on top of your oral hygiene, because it is very important. And you do only get one set of teeth, and even though there are things like dentures and crowns and bridges, they're not necessarily an ideal solution compared to having your own set of natural teeth. So don't be afraid to go to the dentist. They're brilliant. Brilliant. Right. Okay, so I hope you've all had a chance to have a look over these phrasal verbs and their potential definitions. What I'll do is I'll go through them in the order of the phrasal verbs, and then we'll match them to their definitions. So first and foremost, number one, look after. Now what do we think this one might mean? You can use it in a lot of different contexts, but certainly in the dentist, it's very important to look after your teeth. Now, which definition do you think this one might go with? It is, of course, E, to take care of something. So if you're looking after something, then you're taking care of it. So you ought to take care of your teeth. You ought to look after your teeth. Number two, take out. What do we think this one might go with? Take out. This one, of course, goes with C, to remove something from a place. So if you take something out, remove it. So if you take out a tooth, then you're removing it from your mouth. That's something that the dentist maybe do have to do on occasion if the tooth is very unhealthy. Excuse me. Number three, look at. Simple one. I'm sure you're all very familiar with this idea. Number three, look at. This is, of course, F, to use your eyes to see something. So if you're examining something up close, I'm looking at this mug, I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at the screen, whatever, you would say that you're using your eyes to see something. Okay. So number four, come back. Which one do you think this one might go with? I should say it's letter D, to return to a place. So come back suggests that you've been there before. Okay, and you're returning there for another time. So coming back to the dentist. You've been to the dentist before, and you'll have to come back at a later date. Number five, lie down. There's only two definitions left to choose from, so hopefully this should be fairly simple. This one, of course, goes with letter B, to move your body into a flat position. So when you go to bed at night, you lie down in bed, you move your body into a flat position, and that is what happens on one of those dentist chairs that I was talking about before, where suddenly you'll find yourself, you'll get sat down in an upright position, like I am now in this chair here, and then you'll lie down, you'll move your body into a flat position. And then finally, all that's left, number 6, put off. That means to delay something because you don't want to do it. And as I'm sure, like I say, that I know there's a lot of people that are not that keen on the dentist, so they might put off going. So they delay it because they don't want to do it. I'm sure we're all guilty of putting things off that we don't necessarily want to do, but it's always wise to face your problems head on, without exception. So that's my advice for all of you: is if ever you've got a problem, then it's always best to face it head on, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so now put these phrasal verbs into the sentences below. So I should have what I'll do, copy these verbs into the presentation. Brilliant. So put the correct phrasal verbs. Now hopefully you can see these all. I'll just should have thought about this. I'm very sorry for having to do this on the fly. Not finest out. Oh god, it's all going to pot. Picture format. Where are we? Just crop these so you can see the crop. Here we are. So you can just make sure you see all of the relevant words. Size, crop, and then I want the bottom ones. Okie doke. So here we are. So we've got those phrasal verbs that we defined earlier. So look after, take out, look at, come back, lie down, and put off. And then we've got some sentences as well, where these phrasal verbs just sort of squeeze in. So if you'd like to have a look over these sentences, I'll read them out, of course, for you. So number 1, I'm going to blank your back teeth now. Open your mouth a bit wider, please. Number 2, if you visit to the dentist, the pain will probably get worse. Number 3, if you don't your teeth, you'll have a lot of problems later in life. Number 4, I will have to this tooth because unfortunately I can't fix it. Number 5, in the chair, try to relax and don't think about what I'm doing. And then number 6, finally, please make an appointment in 6 months' time. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to blank your back teeth now. Open your mouth a bit wider, please. Which phrasal verb do we think goes into this sentence? So again, we've got the options: look after, take out, look at, come back, lie down, or put off. Now, what do we think the dentist might be doing in this situation? So he's trying to do something with the back teeth and he wants them to open a bit wider. I might suggest, what do you guys all think? I think it's probably look at. So we've probably got that mirror like we saw before on the stick, the little circular mirror on the stick that you're going to try and get and look at the back teeth. So I'm going to look at your back teeth now. Open your mouth a bit wider, please. Okay, number 2. If you visit the dentist, the pain will probably get worse. Which word do we think goes there? If you blank and visit the dentist, what do you think? I might suggest that it's number 6, put off. If you put off a visit to the dentist, the pain will probably get worse. Okay, so like I say, if you avoid going because you don't want to, then all that's going to happen is you're going to have the same problem. It's not going to get fixed, and all that's going to happen is it's going to get worse. Okay, so don't put off going to dentist. Number 3, if you don't blank your teeth, you'll have a lot of problems later in life. Now, which phrasal verb do we think goes in here? I might suggest that it is look after. Okay, if you don't look after your teeth, you'll have a lot of problems later in life. And looking after your teeth basically revolves around, making sure you're keeping them brushed, flossing, mouthwash, all this good stuff. So look after your teeth. Keep going to the dentist, and then it'll save you having issues later on and needing a denture or whatever. Number 4, I will have to blank this tooth because unfortunately I can't fix it. So we've got half left of the phrasal verbs now. We have left take out, come back, and lie down. Which do we think might go in here? Give you a moment to consider. I'll have a slurp of this tea. Lovely. I suggest that it might be I will have to take out this tooth because unfortunately I can't fix it. So like I say, sometimes unfortunately a dentist is going to have to remove a tooth. So this will be what happens here. I will have to take out this tooth because unfortunately I can't fix it. Okay, number 5. Blank in the chair, try to relax and don't think about what I'm doing. Now, what we were talking about with those dentist chairs earlier, what do you do in those? You, of course, lie down. So lie down in the chair, try to relax and don't think about what I'm doing. So that might be advice that a dentist gives to you. So ask you to lie down in the chair, lie back, whatever, and just let them do their work inside your mouth. And finally, we've got the one last phrasal verb to do. Please make an appointment to blank in 6 months' time. It is, of course, come back. Like I say, it's really important, if possible, to visit the dentist every 6 months, twice a year, so they can just have a look inside your mouth and see what's going on to try and stop any problems before they happen and before the unfortunate situation that happened in number 4, where a tooth had to be removed, happens. So don't put off going to the dentist. Try and come back, as I say, every 6 months. Now, here, I've got a diagram here of a mouth, and here are all the sort of main things that are in the mouth. We've got lips, gums, bottom teeth, a tongue, and top teeth. Okay, and then there's obviously the numbers. We've got number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So which number do we think goes with which? So the first, number 1, pointing there. I hope you can all see it. Is it big enough? Number 1 is pointing to the top teeth, which are these ones here, top teeth. Yeah, as opposed to number 4, which is pointing to those there, which are the bottom teeth. Top and bottom, simple, straightforward. Top, bottom. Nice and easy. Number 2, what's that pointing to there? That number 2 is in fact pointing to the gums. Now, gums are really as important as the teeth themselves. They're the things that the teeth are attached to. There, sort of behind your lips, the teeth go into them. It's that pink stuff there that number 2 is pointing to. And brushing your teeth also helps look after the old gums and flossing all that time. Number 3 is pointing to the lips, which are the things on the outside of the mouth, obviously. Top lip, bottom lip, that's what that is. And then finally, number 5, that is pointing to the tongue. Okay, which is obviously that big thing that you taste with. Now, these are some things that you might go to the dentist for. Try and whiz through this quickly because hopefully I'd quite like to have time for a sort of last activity. But these are some common things that you might go to the dentist for. Okay, so we've got 5 sentences here and 5 different ailments, as it were. Ailment means things that are wrong with you, so an illness as such. So number 1, you think something happened to one of your teeth when you ate a hard sweet. Number 2, you have a pain in one or more of your teeth. 3, you don't want to smile as you know it doesn't look good now. 4, you cover your mouth when you talk to people. And 5, you have pain when you eat something hot or cold. So these are all things that you might be experiencing. And like I say, on the top are the 5 different problems you might have with your tooth. So number 1, you think something happened to one of your teeth when you ate a hard sweet. Now this is certainly a tricky one. I would suggest that this is a cracked tooth. Okay, if you're eating a hard sweet, then it's important to be careful. If you've got maybe weak teeth or whatever, if it's particularly hard sweet, then you could absolutely crack your tooth, which is very much not ideal. You have a pain in one or more of your teeth. This one's called toothache. So just like you can have backache or a headache, you can also have toothaches. If your teeth are feeling uncomfortable, then that's called toothache. Number 3, you don't want to smile, as you know it doesn't look good now. This happened to a few of my rugby playing friends. Don't always wear a gum shield if you're playing rugby or hockey or anything like that. And they had missing teeth, and whenever they smiled, it would look very weird. So if you don't want to smile, as you know it doesn't look good, then you might have a missing tooth, or indeed missing teeth. Number 4, you cover your mouth when you talk to people. Now that might be the very unfortunate case of bad breath, which is something that mouthwash is very good to resolve. If you've been eating too much garlic or something along those lines, then it might be the case you have bad breath. Okay, which is where your breath smells basically. And finally, you have pain when you eat something hot or cold. That is sensitive teeth. No, certainly I want to go into an ice cream teeth first. I think that'd be very uncomfortable, and that's because I have sensitive teeth. Okay, finally here, I am going to read some dialogue for you. Certainly if I can find the dialogue. Now this is between the dentist and someone called Christine Jones. So I'll read it out for you, and as I'm reading it out, keep an ear out for the answer potentially to these questions. So the dentist says, "Christine Jones, please come in." "So what's the problem?" To which Christine Jones replies, "I've got toothache." And then the dentist says, "Oh dear, when did it start?" To which Christine says, "I'm not sure exactly, but I've had it for a few days now." The dentist asks, "Have you taken anything to help with the pain?" And then Christine replies, "Some aspirin, but it didn't work very well." The dentist says, "When was the last time you visited a dentist?" To which Christine replies, "Oh, I don't really remember. I think it was quite a long time ago." The dentist says, "Okay, well, just lie down in the chair and I'll take a look at you. Where does it hurt exactly?" Christine says, "In the back of my mouth on the left side." The dentist says, "All right, just relax. Can you open your mouth a bit wider, please?" Christine says, "Sure." The dentist says, "Let me know if it's painful." And Christine says, "A bit." The dentist replies, "It looks like you have a cavity in one of your teeth back here." "A cavity?" replies Christine. Dentist, "Yes, there is a small hole." "Oh no, is it bad?" "It doesn't look so bad, but I need to find out how deep it is. I'll need to do an X-ray for this." "How much will it cost?" asked Christine. It'll be quite expensive, but we really need to fix your tooth." "Okay, I understand." "When we finish today, you'll need to come back and see me in a few weeks," says the dentist. "Sure, okay, yes, I'll do that." "Please do," says the dentist. "Now, Christine, it's really important to take care of your teeth. Remember to brush at least twice a day and use mouthwash as well." "I know," says Christine. "I don't want to get toothache again." Okay, so a girl, in this case Christine, goes to the dentist with a problem. I've read you the dialogue, and now answer the questions. What is the girl's problem? Do you remember what the problem is? Mentioned a few times. It is, of course, toothache. Like we said, is when your teeth ache and feel uncomfortable. Now, question 2. How long has she had the problem for? Now, if you can remember, shall I read the first few lines of dialogue again? So Christine says, "I've got toothache," to which the dentist replies, "Oh dear, when did it start?" Christine says, "I'm not sure exactly. I've had it for a few days now." So that answers that question. How long has she had the problem for? A few days. But she's not sure exactly when the problem started. What did she take for the pain? Do you remember? Feel free, if you're watching this in video form, to maybe rewind and listen to the dialogue again. But for the pain, she took some aspirin, but if you remember correctly, it didn't work very well. When was the last time she went to a dentist? Now, as we've been saying, it's really important to try and get to the dentist twice a year. So this is maybe where the problem came from, because when the dentist asks, when was the last time you visited a dentist? Christine replies, oh, I don't really remember. I think it was quite a long time ago, which suggests to me that it's longer than 6 months ago. So again, maybe she'd gone more regularly, then this little problem wouldn't have happened. Okay, where is the pain? She was very specific about this. Again, if you're watching this in video form, then feel free to rewind back and listen to the dialogue again. But if you remember, she says the pain is in the back of her mouth on the left side. What was the cause of the pain? Well, when the doctor investigated the back left hand side of her mouth, the dentist found out, unfortunately, she had a cavity, which is like that second picture I showed earlier where there was the big hole in the tooth. Very unfortunate, which might need a filling or whatever. To investigate this problem, what did the dentist tell her to do about her teeth? Now, there's all sorts of things. She's got to come back to the dentist to resolve this cavity in a few months, but also it's important that she, in future, to stop getting another cavity, she take good care of her teeth. Remembers to brush twice a day and use it as mouthwash as well. So there we are. That's the end of our little lesson about going to the dentist. For whoever requested this lesson in particular, I really do hope it's been useful for you. I'll move up a bit closer to the camera. I really do hope, sincerely, it's been useful for you. And if you have any more requests, please do feel free to say about them, because honestly, preparing for this lesson and knowing that someone might actually find it really useful has been just a thrill. So thank you very much indeed for that. I hope sincerely it's been useful for you. If not, then feel free to leave a comment, say you're rubbish, and I'll try and improve. But hopefully it's been good for you. And yes, I think, well, that's it really, then, isn't it? Thank you very much indeed for watching. Do please come back and join us again next week. As ever, I'm going to be here. Actually, I might be uploading a video next week, but it should come on, I presume, at 5 o'clock next Thursday. So feel free to watch that there. And then the week after that, our normal service will of course be resumed. It's been an absolute pleasure as ever. I thank you again for the request to do this specific topic. And on that note, I shall leave you. So thank you again very much indeed. And see you next week. Bye then.